What's going on? Logan Skees here. In this video, I'm going to break down core values workflow for the VentureMap. In the last video, I did a live bill and consolidated assets for our culture deck from previous iterations into the new version. Now I'm hooking into this kind of workflow. I've been listening to Core Value Equation by Darius Mirshahzadeh. The great book. My thinking was we have built core values lateral. We've helped facilitate workshops that will formulate and craft core values for years. We've helped disseminate and integrate that through organizational cultures and align teams. As EOS says, we use it to hire, fire, and promote by. I'm familiar with that. And back to my time in the Marine Corps, honor, courage, and commitment is essential as a set of values. Knowing that I had to do what I'm doing right now, which is update my own core values and share the process with the community so people can do it on their own. The primary purpose behind the VentureMap community is to provide others what I wish I had years ago, clarity on what to do to get the results I want from my business. And boy, I was exposed to a range of entrepreneurial methodologies. I've had entrepreneur boot camps and the technology accelerator. I went through the National Science Foundation I-Core Innovation Core regional program. That started my formal journey of seeking to understand these dilemmas, these intellectual obstacle courses. It got overwhelming when we were raising pre-seed. We're doing a friends and family round for a fitness technology startup in 2019. I got overwhelmed with the pro forma, cap table, pitch, product roadmap, technical specifications, project plans, and filing documents. It got difficult and fragmented. I thought to myself, no one rises to the occasion. We fall back on our training. I remembered my time in the Marine Corps using terrain models to represent operations and realities for planning. We tried to make a business terrain model in Miro back in 2019 and early 2020. COVID hit. The plan had to change aggressively. Raising seed funding for a computer vision based AI fitness startup became less of a reality. We were working remotely full time. I said, we just got to go all in, forget all the other stuff, forget all the sophisticated stats. Let's get the entire picture in one place so we can see what we're doing and execute. So that's where we're coming from. Interestingly, we've gone through a rebirth as a company at the end of Q3 last year, 2024. A vision I've held for a long time is to ambiguate the full range of strategic delivery and frameworks and methodologies available to small business owners, the Main Street USA types, the mom and pop types, not the MBAs, not the venture-backed startups. Nothing wrong with those. Those folks tend to have the cognitive firepower or funding to afford the intel needed to think through the business challenges, opportunities, strategies, risks. They can typically do it well. My experience after getting out of the Corps was on the front lines of small business. I was at small gyms. Even the multi-million-dollar training facility was still family-owned. Amount of thinking required to do it right was far in excess compared to the capacity present. Now, some people may think that's controversial, but I see it every day. What you don't know in business will hurt. I'm on a mission for my own sake and my children. I want them to have the ability to pursue their dreams. A robust capability set is required to bring anything to life. Any human endeavor is fundamentally constrained by capabilities. I have several years of study, business architecture, service design, project management, strategy management, operations management, process development. I've been immersed in that actively trying to understand for a long time, cutting through dozens, if not hundreds of books and courses, mentors, advisors, as I've sought to understand, learn, and codify to build an integrated, systematic approach to maintaining complete organizational control and visibility. And as a precursor for second and third order effects, a business-wide data lake that's high quality and well segmented, feeds self-aware, recursive self-improving AI systems. The big idea is the state where the puck is going. I believe with every fiber it might be smart, self-aware, self-improving businesses are on the horizon. The big question is, how do we implement the artificial intelligence tools available off the shelf today? Things will change and less context will be needed for higher quality outcomes. Inferences powerful. At the date of recording, the Chinese AI model DeepSeek is an example, though it may have intellectual property issues. Inference training is powerful. We've built the 80/20 principle into the intake. I'll say true to what clients get in this process, being authentic to where I am and what I'm doing, thinking this through together. I put a lot of thought into core values. Previously, I had things like strong character, servant leadership, total visibility, and real world agility. I redid it a few months later, maybe, and said, I kind of landed on this cultivation of the flow state. We've always wanted to strive to do the best work of our career, portfolio defining work, singularity, focus, relentless follow through, consistently cultivating an environment conducive for flow states. Wellness is a part of that. The deeper you draw into stillness, the further you into action, leave no stone unturned. That's one of my family mottos. I really didn't want to do this. At the end of January, I thought I was going to kick off the month with a live bill to knock out a few birds with one stone, but I haven't wanted to do it because it's daunting. I don't want to commit to doing it again. This is the same challenge others face, whether it's core values, the content marketing, the funnel, the sales point, service line, project management, or hiring. Always a sticky point. I believe this is the way we're going to go. I try to get it down to 3. I actually cut out grounded in the absolute yesterday, but the more I think about it, the more like 100%, it's so true. And of course, that would inform the way I personally would hire, fire, and promote. Across the Rubicon, that's a big deal for me because if you don't know the story about crossing the Rubicon, I'm sure everyone watching this does. Caesar crossed the Rubicon in ancient Rome. It was an borderline protecting Roman territory from its military. It was high treason for Caesar to cross it. He did and marched on Rome to the point of no return. Similar to burn the boats. Once you go, there's no going back. I've made many of those decisions. Unfortunately, some have cost me relationships, opportunities, and led to bad outcomes. But I've always learned and gotten better, even though difficult outcomes have pushed the journey forward. And I do not regret them. Now, we're trying to get into the core value equation stuff for a bit because it's important. The shout out to the author of the book, Mr. Darius. Would love to connect with Darius. The podcast might be in the future if he's open to it. I encourage people to listen to the book on Audible, get it on Kindle, read it on Speechify, or get the paper copy. I've gone through a single chat here, just previously talking through a lot of fused a few thoughts, and it makes sense to go this way. I asked GPT, I didn't preload any data from the book. I already knew it, public knowledge, since GPT is free. I've mixed in the US methodology, Donald Miller's business made simple methodology, a little bit of the Marine Corps. I feel good about it. And then it's got now deliverables I'm going to use to update the stack. The stack being, at this point, core values, purpose statement, ops statement, origin story, vivid vision, team attributes and activities, team journey, recruitment and retention touch points, leadership principles, careers page, and culture commercial. These are the main ones clients will see. Usually they'll only make it through this 3-minute video and be kind of toasted or disinterested. It's always interesting for me to see firsthand how far people get in the process of doing their own culture. It's very telling, honest. Culture deck overview video, culture deck presentation, master prompt, knowledge base, all of this are one massive document. Culture deck deep dive, AI podcast, call information, CBIN, recruitment and retention deck, quite helpful. This is where we're at. I'll do a little live prompting. I've got to be honest, the automate everything is probably really it's kind of a triggering thing. I don't know, but I just keep defaulting to the point that it's really true for me. These are North Stars, things we aspire to stay true to live by. We'll never fully, maybe not at any time at the near and midterm with artificial superintelligence, advancements in robotics. God only knows. But for the sake, like the reason why if you've been a small business owner or self-employed, worked with these people, you have an appreciation for their realities, which is they could focus on automating everything with a professional team for years and still have an insane amount of laborious manual work to go through. You can automate Zapier, workflow specialists, process development people, and offshore talent. You can have all sorts of stuff nonstop and still have manual work. It is almost an impossibility to automate everything. People think, oh, what about this human element? What human element is more important than spending time with your family? What human element is more important than going for a hike and eating a healthy snack on an overlook, looking at a waterfall? But having your personality represented in applications, we can do that. Having your tone of voice that's authentic and immersive, customers and team members alike, we can do that. If your outcomes and read stuff like Built to Sell and E-Myth, it's easy. E-Myth is foundational and systemology existing business. There's a natural conclusion. Most people talk about starting and scaling, but many are in a scale-up space, trying to just survive. We're going through the largest wealth transfer. One driving force is the baby boomer generation exiting small business. If my numbers are correct, there are about better 3 million small businesses in the U.S. The vast majority are self-employed, non-employers or businesses $28.5 million non-employer businesses. So the AP is a single owner. The majority of the businesses are these people. Yet the things that get the most attention are the flashy, polished, high-tech startups, which is fine. I mean, who doesn't love the behemoths, the monopolies? I've got an iPhone, an MacBook, and Tesla's awesome. That's what gets the news. But Main Street USA is the backbone of the economy. I'm justifying it for posterity and myself. Offering everything is central to our view of what we want to deliver. Smart, self-improving business system, a platform for a business to become aware of its entirety, internal and external, its picture through time, casting a trajectory, planning horizon, considers current capabilities, environmental forces, objectives, intent, and outcomes, and builds itself to reach those ends. So workforce disintermediation is something I've been studying and working towards for a long time. There's a lot of talk about, if you look at an amazing game, Built to Sell, awesome, legit book, and 100 exits. It's heavy hitting, but great. In Adam Coffey's book, I did a fantastic podcast with Adam. Love his book, Exit Strategy Playbook. It's great. The book targets people at the end of the founder's life cycle. If you don't know where you're going, you'll never get there. What if people get multipliers on EBITDA, a management key capabilities, capacity, and a track record of effective strategy execution and strategy formulation, maybe not in that order, a turnkey business, right? That's the big goal when you're talking to private equity firms, strategic buyers or financial buyers. We're not saying, hey, you're buying me as a founder and a couple of employees. You're buying a self-sustaining business with a proven track record that's crafted, mitigated against risk, and has a solid plan. We're going to keep growing no matter what. I can take months off and the business will keep growing. Being an owner of the business is a great place to be. That's the Goldilocks zone. And that's not the only way, but you got to retire. It sounds like you will leave your business. What matters is whose terms it will be, and you want it to be your terms or someone else's. Or to be like a millions of baby boomers whose succession plan is hopefully my kids will take it over. Your kid is into underwater, underwater basket weaving. It doesn't want your HVAC business, even though it's pulling down billions of dollars with those customers, hundreds of techs, a fleet of vehicles, and decades of positive track record. Your succession plan is tough. So that's an example, a real life example that happens to a lot of people. Why succession planning is so critical, and planning for the exit, having that North Star. So being able to deliver that capability set. Now, I'll finish here and just this is definitely more thought than I'll typically do for clients because I don't know their vision as well as I know my own. I'll use one more often than not, but I'm using an old chat for this and piecing together from months, years of collateral. My hope is that by doing this live tutorial, it will need progress. I can't tell you how many times I've talked with an owner, CEO, and said, just sit down and work with GPT, do the darn thing. And their mind is blown, like, oh, I didn't think about that. Yeah, bro, you need to do it. Get your stuff ironed. And that's why VentureMap Elite exists, right? Because who has time to think about all of this stuff in the first place? They need it done so they can focus on other stuff. Historically, it cost multi-5 figures to bring this to life. Now it's $100 in a couple of weeks. There's a horse, but I don't have time to get into that. If you want a VentureMap, free go high level, multiple free sessions, access to group calls every week, money back, guarantee, keep your mirror board. Just let me know. I'd love to meet and work with you. I'll finish with the new delivery. Provide a clear overview on the suggested follow on deliverables. Next video, I'll show how to double down on this with Gamma. When dealing with a table, it's best pull it this, especially since this is going to Gamma. pretty nice. All right. How many more of these bonus points? Should try customers. Thanks to the core value equation book. Beautiful. That's fantastic. These Miro dogs have become so invaluable. We already got that in the last one, didn't we? We'll bring it over to see what we can do with it. This one's going to be a stretch. Next, we're going to talk about visual development. Now we got all this data. Are we going to make it something you actually want to look at and understand? We got the raw material. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This guy's getting kicked the curb. 6 additional deliverables. We'll decide if they're integrated, if I make fusions, how that's good. Thanks for joining the live build of the AI-enabled core values. We featured the core value equation book, Donald Miller's Mission Made Simple, EOS, the traction book, and others. I hope some of this was meaningful, valuable. If not, it's enabling your efforts to push past your sticking point and get after it. If you want to connect one-on-one, you're welcome to book a free onboarding call. All members get an onboarding call. I'll meet with you one-on-one. We can get you spun up with your own template, talk about prompts and templates. You get half for free. If you're going to do this for you with record time and quality, I'm happy to do that. Invite you into the elite group. I'll make sure that a link below. If you're already in the free community, you can easily get it. Thanks for watching. I look forward to seeing you next.